We're ready to roll. All right. Look at Gabby. She's all nervous over there,
I'm hyped up.
pounding. She's gonna drill me with questions.
I'm the moderator today, so I'm
She's-
going to ask
she's a
questions
moderator.
and let you talk, give a little intro. It's going to be a great day.
It's gonna be good. It'll be fun. It'll be. I'm excited. I don't know. Should I look at these notes? I'm not even gonna look at them.
We
You're just
have
on
some
fire.
questions prepped, and it's just about learning about you and seeing why you started the podcast and telling your story.
Oh boy, I'm excited. All right, far away. Let's see what you got. See if you can stump me. I think you probably can.
Yeah.
I think you could stump me.
So, where are you from, and how did you end up owning a brew pub in Wisconsin?
Good question. Originally, I am from Cumberland, Wisconsin. It's just northwest Wisconsin. Big island city. The big island city. Yeah, it's a small town. I think they actually moved up to like over 2,000 people, which is pretty good. It's a good community. It's touristy in the summer, touristy in the winter. We got a big lake that kind of surrounds us, Beaver Dam Lake. A lot of recreational stuff, a lot of fishing, a lot of boating, things like that. But yeah, it's a nice little community. Love going back. My mom still lives there. My grandma still lives there. All my in-laws live there. My sister lives there. So yeah,
What was it like growing up there?
it's pretty small town stuff. We actually lived about 4 miles out of town. So it was kind of a jaunt, whatever we did. We never had a farm, but I worked on plenty of them farms back in the day. My parents both worked. My mom was a nurse. My dad was a HVAC guy. We had a small farmhouse. Like I said, 4 miles out. Nothing crazy. I think that farmhouse was built in like 1900 or something like that. It was old as shit, but we seemed to patch it up and live there for 18 years. I mean, my parents lived there for a long time afterwards too, but yeah, it was a good little out in the country, country kid kind of style. That's what we did, bow and arrows made out of wood, string, whatever. We had a lot of cool neighbors, some neighbor kids that we used to do a lot of fun stuff with. A lot of outdoor stuff, man. It was, we never came inside. I mean, my sisters, I have two sisters, both younger, and we, as much as I didn't like them then, we still did a lot of stuff together. They were always good for a good cowboy Indian kind of fight, and we'd beat the tar out of each other, or maybe I'd just beat the tar out of her, them. I don't know. It was fun. But yeah, we just did that. We had some cool neighbors that had a lot. They were all farms, so we would go over there. I would go over there and play around out there, do stuff, hay mouse stuff, riding 3-wheelers, all the fun things. Ride horse. We rode horse. One of our neighbors she had like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know, 10 horses or so. Like they had a pile of horses, and we just, we would ride horse a lot. I almost died a few times doing that, but we definitely made that. We used to race them on the dirt road in front of a friend's house, between like two farms and stuff. So it was just like this long straightaway, and we would like get on the horses, and we'd pick different horses, and some people are like, oh, I'm only gonna stick with Casper or whatever it was, like, but we'd swap horses and we'd just race down the road, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty simple. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was it was pretty good. I got a roof over my head and as many squares on the table that I needed, and yeah, it was fun. My parents were together forever, and my sisters were good most of the time. Good neighbors, good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, good. Cumberland's cool.
Yeah. So how did you evolve from the hometown growing up in small town Wisconsin to owning a brew pub in Osseo?
Mm. Yeah, I went to school in Eau Claire. Went to college in Eau Claire, so I left right away in '95. Oofta. Oofta.
Oofta. You can tell you're from Wisconsin based on the oofta.
Oofta, yeah. Yeah, so I was down there, and I went down to Eau Claire, went to school, went to college, did some hospitality, tourism, culinary management stuff for school. And then the Northwoods Brew Pub was coming into town. And so I applied for that. I think I told that story in the last one about that interview and stuff. So that was crazy. But then, yeah, so then I started working at Northwoods in '97 when they first opened, and we just did. I was a manager for a while, assistant. I was assistant dining room manager. Kind of a big deal then. And then I moved up from that to was it dining room manager? I can't remember. And then I went to a bar manager because that was like by then I was like mid-20s, so I'm like bar everything, just bar, beer, drinks. So then I was a bar manager for several years. I did, that was kind of like my thing. I really liked the bar scene. I love live music. I loved, that whole vibe of everything. I love that. So I stuck with that for a while. And then we decided to open up another store in Chautauqua, and that was like 2003. And I was a GM up there. I opened that store up, got it, did a remodel on it, worked up there for 3-4 years, and then actually got fired. There's something that people don't know about. Like, I got fired from Northwoods. No shit. I got fired. Yeah, that was quite the debacle. We had a little issue up there, and Jerry, the owner at the time, he had another partner, and I won't get into too details, but anyways, they yeah, I mean, I got fired. He thought I was stealing. And I was like,
Really?
I'm like, dude, at this point I had 10 years already. I'm like, man, I'm not going to steal from you. Like, even if times are tough, I'm never going to steal from you. Like, that's one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to steal. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to do that. Like, that's just not who I am. And he's like, wow, we got this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then, I was like, yeah, whatever. And then, so then I took a little hiatus, which was really cool because it's funny how that timing worked. Because Sarah and I, my wife, we had Olivia, or she had Olivia. I was just there for moral support, of course. And so I was a stay-at-home dad for like 3 years, which was actually really, really awesome. The money wasn't great, but it was good. I mean, it was fun. I guess I wouldn't take that back for anything, really, because that was fun. I got to literally be daddy daycare kind of stuff, like changing diapers, feed. Sarah was working nights at the time, so she was, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., and then she'd do that 2-3 days a week and sleep all day. And so it was like, it was me, it was me doing everything. Like,
And
Olivia,
how long did you do that for?
3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Sarah, if Olivia would get sick, I mean, it was me. If she was puking mac and cheese and hot dogs on my chest, which that's no shit that happened. And like literally laying like right here, and she would get like, it was the coolest thing. Not cool because it sucked, but she would get like these glossy eyes, and I'm like, oh, hon, you getting sick? No, I feel good. And then next thing you know, and so um, that was definitely a learning curve. Like that's not something. I don't think that's very traditional, maybe, but the daddy daycare thing. But I enjoyed it. I really did. I had so much fun doing things with her. But it was, you know, I didn't, they don't have the instructions on there. So, it's, you just kind of figure it out. And, doctor visits, she's sick, go to the doctor. Well, that's me. I'm loading her up. I trapped a lot too then. So, I always check traps, and you got to check traps every day, every 24 hours. So I would bundle her up in this, like snowmobile suit that was so cool. Cause like she couldn't like move her arms cause it'd be like stuck out. So it was so cool. And so I would bring her, with me a lot. I had an otter sled, and I would put her in there, and I would set my traps, and I would put a little hay bale kind of around it, so she'd just like snuggle in there, and then we would just go check traps, and we'd haul around that in the woods, the dog, Olivia, and myself, and we'd just go check traps, and yeah, I mean it was catch some coyotes or whatever, and yeah, I mean she caught her first one. I don't know, she was probably 3 or 4 when she caught her first coyote, and we got it. We have that fur in her room. I think she put it in the living room now though, 'cause she's too old, too good for that stuff now. But yes, that was pretty cool. That was such a fun time. I wouldn't take that back for a minute. So that was fun.
So you got fired.
So then I get fired.
And then you spent the 3 years with stay-at-home dad. And then what was your journey back into Northwoods?
So then shortly after that, they had one of the employees. She was a district manager for the Norski Nooks and Northwoods because they were kind of all combined. And she called me up and said, "Hey, we're looking for a GM in Eau Claire. Would you like to do it?" And I'm like, no. No. I'm like, no way. I'm like, and Jerry and I at the time, we had a lot of several people, friends that were, mutual. So like I had ran into him, I've talked to him, there was real no hard feelings. I mean, kind of like, but kind of, because I was like, dude, I didn't steal shit from you, man. Like, I'm not going to do that. And so, he called me up after I said no, and she went back and talked to Jerry, and Jerry said he called me, and, cause what happened was that they found out that the other guy was stealing. It wasn't me. And I told him that. And he didn't believe me, which I wouldn't have believed me either. I would have believed like my partner, because you would think your partner wouldn't do that shit, but that happens. And so they literally, he called me up and apologized and said, "Hey, I'm sorry. I should have listened to you, blah, blah, blah. And here's what we're looking to do, get some ownership in. And we'll start you at this." I said, "I need like 2-3 weeks off vacation, blah, blah, blah." Kind of gave him the rundown of what I wanted. And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So then I went back. That was like 2011, 10, 11, somewhere around there. And so then, yeah, I just kept going. We just kept doing stuff. We had to, we kind of, I mean, I'm just trying to think of how that went down, but yeah, we just went back to work. I went back to work and started doing it. And by then it was like we just kept getting a little bit, and then we decided to we had some offers on the building and the property that Monks wanted to buy that, and so he's like, "Hey, what do you think?" And I'm like, well, there's no money on it for me to retire, like that's not it, So, so then we opened up Osseo, and he's like, well, I'll help you, I'll help you, for the first couple of years, but I want to retire. I want to get out of this thing. I want to do it, which that's cool. I get it, and I don't want you anyway. So, um, so then in like 2017, that's when I bought him out, and then it's been me ever since. So, yeah.
So since 2017, it's been you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Made some changes. I did my own thing with some things, but Jerry's a as much as he can be a real pain in the hind end. He was a good guy. He's got a good business head. I took a lot of stuff that he, kind of just chewed my ass about throughout the years, and kind of took that and just was like, yeah. I mean, there's some good stuff there as far as, just business stuff, strategizing things. He's a beer guy. He loved beer. He's a whiskey guy too. But he taught me a lot of stuff, good, bad, and different. I mean, there was a lot of things that I still do today that he, showed me, or, kind of what we did. There's a lot of things that I don't do either, I just had a different mindset than what he did. So it was like, there's good and bad to that, I think. I mean, he was a good mentor that way. I still talk to him now and again. If I got some real wild scenarios or something, and I'm like, dude, what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
And he's usually pretty good at giving me something, a little nugget of something. But yeah, and so that's where I'm at. That's why I just now
No, that's awesome.
I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that you had taken over for a different owner, and so that's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool because I was real familiar with the brand and what we did, and how we did it, brewing beer and stuff like that. I was, so it was kind of an easy transition for me. It was the direction I wanted to go. I wanted to have my own place. I wanted to do my own thing, so that's definitely what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
what drew you to hospitality? And, you studied at Eau Claire.
Mm-hmm.
And so what between, growing up and starting that major at Eau Claire, what made you go into hospitality and entrepreneurship, and what made you want to do that?
Yeah, that's a valid question, because honestly, if you'd asked me this my senior year, I was like going to ASU, Arizona State. That's where I was going to go. I was going to wrestle and play ball, and I was going to go for like kinesiology. That was kind of like my thing.
Really?
Yeah, like
wow.
that was the fitness thing. I know I don't look it, but back then that was all that I did, and so yeah, that was really the direction I was going to go. And then right until like the last minute, I kind of just chickened out. Not kidding. Like, I did. And I can't put one thing on it for why I did it either. It just was like not it. Like, I don't know. I wanted to go to ASU since I was like little. Like, my grandparents lived in Arizona, so that was probably part of it. So I really was like focused on that. Like, that's what I want to do. And I was like, that's really the direction I wanted to go. And then at the last minute, I literally pulled the pin. I always had in the back of my mind, I loved the bar scene. I loved that restaurant. My grandma owned, my grandma, she's 97, bless her. She's still alive. She's
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, she's an amazing woman. That's a whole nother podcast. That whole setup. She's unbelievable. She's a beautiful person. And but she had restaurants and bars all her life. Like well, not all her life, but she was a teacher for a long time, and then she went to restaurant business, and she owned a couple of restaurants at the time, and the Friendly Bar in Almena, which is just a little town outside of Cumberland, which was just a cool bar. Like it was, and we'd go there all the time, and I just freaking loved it. I don't know why. I just the memories that I have of it are awesome, and I just we'd run around in the back and do what we did, and putz around, and Grandma would yell and get out of the kitchen, things like that. So, and you can't be behind the bar, like, but then we just do it. So I kind of always liked that. I mean, what I really, really, really liked were like hotels. I loved hotels. And so I kind of got, that was kind of a thing. So then I said, hey, you know what? Eau Claire's big. Maybe I just got chicken shit of moving down to Arizona. I don't know. Like, everything that was rooted on what I like to do, whether it was to live in Wisconsin, the hunt, the fish, the people, like, I don't know. Like, I always loved Arizona. I love Arizona. But yeah, I don't know. So then that's what I went for. I enjoyed cooking. I still enjoy cooking. For other people, not at my house. There's a rule. I don't cook at my house. So
that's a rule?
That's a rule.
Wow.
Yeah, nobody likes my food there. So
nobody likes your food there?
Yeah, I don't know.
That surprises me.
I don't know. I think there's some things they do, but like for the most part, I'm just like, if there's any, like Sarah, you just make it. Mm-hmm. Like I will do it. I have zero problems. I mean, this is what I do. I have no issues whatsoever. I'll do it, but I just don't cook at home. Mm-hmm. I mean, so.
Is it one of those things where a mechanic's car is never
kind of
fixed?
It's and like, construction
you
workers
go home and you're like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah,
or, yeah.
It's totally that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I went. I mean, that was the kind of the direction I went. For some reason, that's what I did. Do I regret it? Some days, because I think I would have loved to. I would have loved to wrestle. I would have loved to play ball down there. I mean, maybe I wouldn't have ever been able to do that either. But I never went, so I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna, what if kind of shit. So this is where I'm at, and this is what I'm doing, and there's a reason for it. Don't know what it is quite yet, but still going.
Yeah, you found your passion, and you just stuck with it, and really went after
passion. Sometimes there's passion. Some
Good days and bad days.
Everybody has them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how has your business evolved since you started? Like between, just a quick rundown, like location, employment, food, brewing. You were in Eau Claire, and then
Osseo, and then I opened up the Cumberland store for 2-3 years. But I closed that one last year, and then I closed that one down, and then opened up one in Warrens, and then would do a bunch of stuff in Hatfield. I have another project further south. We'll see how that goes, but it's changed. I mean, I honestly like. I don't know for sure the direction it would have been if COVID would never have been there. Like if that wouldn't have been a thing, that kind of really changed a lot of things. And I think not just for me, I think for everyone, but that really changed for sure my mindset and others as well, I think. And so, that was a different struggle, I guess. I don't know. It was a struggle or challenge, and I'm still kind of fighting through that.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had the best years. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that, but just because it's been tough to kind of get rolling with that, and I could go all day for sob stories, but there's some challenges in between COVID and today. Um, and it's just it's just a challenge, and you
Mm-hmm.
just gotta problem solve to figure out what we got to do different, and that's why I kind of pivoted on um, different locations. Maybe we did a lot of catering. We do a ton of catering and stuff too. So like the business model is not, for the longest time I wanted to sell beer all over. I mean, we had 90% of Wisconsin, Illinois, and Minnesota at one time, and that was that was the thing. That's what we wanted to do. And now that whole atmosphere has changed. It's just different. The beer world's different. So we had to pivot off that, and so I do a lot of stuff in house only. I don't do a lot of distribution with the beer. Um, and I focus more on like the food, the barbecue, the events, the catering. Um, and to be honest, there's more money to do that,
Mm-hmm.
than the beer distribution. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we didn't really talk about Walters and how that came in, because that came in a little bit after you took over Northwoods, right?
yeah, that was 2009 when we took over um, the Walters brand, and then we just kind of built that up from there. That was, I mean, it's still like one of our number one sellers. I mean, it's awesome,
Mm-hmm.
and but yeah, that was definitely yeah. I mean, that's a fun brand. I like that brand. It's an old school brand. It's been in Eau Claire forever, like 1890s or something. And I won't get too crazy with the history of that, but I do love Walter's memorabilia. I love all that stuff. I love the history of it. I love the stories. I'd love to do stories of all the people that come in, and just, oh, Grandpa was this and that and blah blah blah. And I'll tell you one quick story, just because it's quick. Maybe it's quick, but so one day we walked into I was walked behind the bar, and I was brewing something, and I walked behind the bar to get something to drink, and there was an older couple that was sitting at the bar, and I started talking to them like, hey, how's it going? The same thing, doing anything fun today or whatever. And the lady's like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah. We're here. We get to come down and see Walters and this and that, and see the Northwoods. But my husband worked at Walters, and you know, he was in there brewing and all this stuff and blah blah blah." And then the guy starts talking. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I was one of the main. He got all the grain. He was one of the grain guys for the original Walters, and I don't know. He's probably in his 80s. And so he starts talking about all this stuff, and he's like, here's the Walters recipe. You got a pen and a piece of paper. And so I gave him that, and he started writing this down, and he was just like talking and talking and talking. And I said, man, this is awesome. Like, this is cool. I looked at my recipe and compared to his, I'm like, well, that's pretty dang close. That's it. I mean, there's a couple things, that, they had different yeast strands and stuff, it was a little different, but for the most part, like, that's what it was. And I was like, that is so fucking cool. I was like just jacked. And I wish I would have had video of that, because that would have been so interesting and fun, and, historical kind of thing. And so then I showed him around. I showed him some of the memorabilia that we had and whatever. And then I went back and went back to brewing. And I came back out a little bit later, and the lady comes up to me, and she was crying. And I'm like, oh man, I'm thinking, what just happened? Like, you were just loving life and whatever. And she says, I just want to tell you how thankful I am of you, of you just taking the time to talk to my husband. He's had like Alzheimer's, and he doesn't speak at all. He doesn't say anything. Like she said, he talked to you more today than he's talked to anybody all year. And she was like crying. She goes, I can't believe what just happened. And I'm like, I don't know. What do I say to that? Like, I don't know. Bring him in. I'll talk beer all the day long. I don't care. Like if that's going to help, if that's going to do something. And I, I don't know. Like I just, it was kind of like just a real moment, my dad had Lewy body dementia. And so he would, before he died, he got like really bad, and it's kind of like a Parkinson's, or where you just kind of like Alzheimer's, kind of just lose your mind and whatever else. And I don't know all the definitions, all that stuff, so I could be wrong there, but he would do that too. Like he wouldn't talk very much either, and then all of a sudden something would trigger it up, and then he would just like one time we were sitting when we first opened Osseo. And at this time, he was pretty bad. But we'd bring him out. My mom would bring him out, and he came down to see the pub and walked around. And like he was like he knew who you were and all that, but he just didn't talk a lot. And they had lunch, and I sat down and had lunch with him. And one of the service guys comes over, and he was working on the boiler in the brewery. And because I had it hosed up bad, I don't know, something was screwed up with it. I was like, gosh. So I had to call a service guy. So anyway, the service guy comes in, comes back to the table, and he's like, Sean, I can't get this. This is, I think we're going to need to do all this and, a bunch of shit, And my dad, like all of a sudden out of nowhere says, you need to check this, 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 and this, and that'll solve your problem. I was like, huh? So the guy goes, oh, do you think that? Yes. So then he goes back there and does all the shit, and it freaking worked. And it was like, so like those kind of things, like, where they just all of a sudden just like pop in, and, like you remember that. You're not going to talk day-to-day stuff, but if it was something that they were passionate about or whatever, then it was like, that's pretty cool shit, but.
Yeah, you talk about passions and what keeps you going in the day, and that type of stuff just reminds you what you're doing it for, right?
It kind of does, yeah. I mean, it's, not to get sappy or nothing, but yeah, it is. There's a lot of things that keep you going, whatever their why is, whatever my why is, different than your why, obviously, but, you just keep grinding on some of that stuff, and you do it for whatever why that is. And I have a lot of whys. I do, and I think some of my whys grow throughout the years, but they're different whys. So yeah, you just find that why and figure it out, and how do you gotta get to it, problem solve, and that's what I keep. That's the drive. I think that's what drive. Like, I don't want to go down doing this. I want to do this,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to start this. I want to start this podcast, I've never done it. I just wanted to do it. So here I am. I'm doing it. Just what the heck? Why not,
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we can get into a little bit about a little bit more of your story, and I'd like to hear about how you have evolved, and we kind of talked about that a little bit. What advice do you think you'd give your 18-year-old self, like knowing what you know now?
Go to ASU, man. Go to ASU. No, yeah, I that's a good question. I don't, we go back to the whys and what people want to do and what they want, and I saw a lot of things. I would tell that 18-year-old to be like, because it's tough, and I have an 18-year-old that is in the same boat, and I know a lot of kids all that age, that it's tough to make decisions, and I tell them, I told my daughter this too. I said, hey, just go with what your gut says, and there's a lot of little oddball things that happen, but it's like, just go with your gut and run with it. Usually that thing's not going to lie to you, and so I find myself, if I don't follow that, I get myself into trouble. Like I go down a path that I don't want to go to, or there's a decision that I'm like, shit, I knew better on this. Why did I do this? And so I would tell that 18-year-old, be like, dude, follow what your gut says, and you might be wandering around trying to figure it out, like this and that and this and that. And if you really take it just a hot minute and just think about what really matters to you, and I think that's where it's like, yeah, that's what it is. That's this or and the passion thing. I mean, I don't know. I think people take that too much. Like, oh, what's your passion? It's like, fuck it. My passion, I don't think is brewing beer and dealing with people all the time. Like, I don't think that's it. And maybe it's not cooking. I enjoy it, but I don't think my passion's that. My passion is sitting in a freaking duck blind in North Dakota and shooting ducks and training dogs and doing that stuff. Like that I love. And the question is, why am I not doing that? Well, shit, I might do that too. I don't even know. Like I love training dogs. I love that. But the passion thing, I don't know if that term's getting overused or not. I hate hearing it. Oh, what's your passion? Fuck the passion. I don't know. What am I going to do to make some money and that I can enjoy? I don't know if it's a passion though. I feel like that's such a strong word. Yeah. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I feel like, is that it? I don't know. So follow your gut, man. Like follow that part of it, and run with it and see where it goes. And I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, and things seem to just fall into place for whatever reason that is. And you might not even see it like right in front of you right now, but like I don't even know. I can't even give you a good example, but it just all of a sudden you just never know. And I'll tell you the barn that we're sitting in, like I had a guy that I met, and he's like, you need to meet this guy. And so then I met Ben, who owns this, and then I did a tour of this place and whatever, and it was coincidence that I just met this guy that did this guy, and then all of a sudden now look at today, like I'm gonna be running this thing, I'm gonna be running this freaking monster of a building and doing events out of it and whatever, and just rolling with it. So it's like, yeah, I mean, you just don't see it right away. Like I didn't plan on that. Mm-hmm. Like that wasn't a plan. Now here it is, so.
No, I think you're exactly right. There can be a lot of pressure, especially, when you're younger or just when you're trying to figure things out. Like, what's my passion? And it's like, well, look at what's right in front of you and follow your gut. Like, it doesn't have to be that hard. It's one little step at a time, right?
I agree 100%. I mean, I think take out all the freaking white noise of the cell phones and the Instagram posts and all this. So, look at so-and-so. They're down in Jamaica and they're having this great time, and you just rolled in a new Lamborghini and all this stuff. And I think a lot of that stuff is fucking white noise. Like I just take all that out, man. That's I can make it look like I got $1 million too, and I got all this stuff and I'm great, but it's not the reality of it. I don't know. Can you do it? Yeah, absolutely. If that's what you want to do, go get it, go do whatever it is you got to do. Go get it. I mean, but I think if you take all that out, strip everything down to just who you are and be very present, I think you'll find out who you are and what you want to do a lot easier than what you're going to find on your cell phone. Mm-hmm. But I don't know
what really makes you happy.
Yeah.
Versus all the other white noise.
Yep.
So back to our questions here.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're doing great. I love
To get back to the hard ones.
it. So, what did failure look like for you early on in your business? And you talked about getting fired, and that was sort of, maybe a hurdle at the moment, a little scary, and then you pivoted, and now you're back. And talk about failure and how that has affected your journey.
Um, yeah. So just go back to that one prior, the failure part. But like I got fired, and I spent 3 of the best years of my life with my daughter.
Right.
You don't see what that does, but then all of a sudden you're like, "Ah, God, you got sucked at, I got fired. What the hell,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And then all of a sudden there it is. Now this is what happened. Sarah, we start having a baby, blah blah blah, or she does. I don't even know what the proper thing is on that, um, but yeah, failures yeah, that happens, and I think it happens a lot. I mean, I think you gotta get beat down a little bit. I mean, I think you do, humbled maybe. Most of the stuff that I deal with on a daily basis of failures are just being humbled, man. Like, or I try something that just didn't work. I've tried a lot of things, a lot of different things that didn't work. And I just goes back to what's your why, and is your why greater than the result of that failure? Yeah. So you just keep going. And you learn from every failure. I think I learned something. Took a little tidbit of something out. Um, and it's good. I mean, you learn all that stuff, and the failures are the ones that I think that's where you figure out who you are as a person. Are you gonna get back up, dust yourself off, and keep moving? I'm not gonna lie. There's a few times that I could just uh, sit and just be depressed. I don't know what depressed feels like, but maybe what it is, and just be like, man, I mean, how did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
And you just go through it, and you're just like, man, could I have done something different? Is there something that I should have changed? And you're just going, yeah, I don't know, but here I am. So what are you gonna do? Sit and pout? No,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna dust yourself off. You're gonna get back up, and you're just gonna keep rolling, man. You're just gonna keep digging and grinding and find another thing, another avenue. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've been told no so many freaking times in the last year or two about this. No, can't do this. No, that. The blah blah blah. And I just keep fighting. You just keep fighting. Just keep
Was there a
going.
specific time that, you're kind of thinking too that you might want to share about like a moment that you've failed or you consider, and you sometimes look back and a moment that at that time felt like a failure, but maybe you're looking back and you're like, you know what, that actually wasn't that big of a deal, or that, you know, that really guided me on where I'm at now.
Um, yeah, I don't know if there's one particular thing that um I can't really actually that's a good question. I don't I'm sure it'll come to me. I mean, there's probably a lot of things that yeah, I don't even know.
No,
That's a good one.
no, that's all
Let me
right.
think on that one.
No,
Let's rain check on that
no,
one.
you're good. Yeah, and failures are just another word for like learning lessons.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like there was a lot. Like I'll take COVID for example. Like COVID was a kick in the purse, and there was a lot of and honestly, like I feel like I tried different things, and they just didn't work, and I was like, God, darn it all! Like Um, and I don't know if that was a failure. Like I felt like it was because it didn't work, but then what I do, I pivoted and tried to do something different, like, just, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's plenty of those. I mean, I could go all day for those.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do another podcast just on failures.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you talk about your podcast now and keep it rolling.
Yeah.
And kind of talk about that and what does keep it rolling mean to you? And why'd you start the podcast now? What made you pivot and be like, now's the time, let's just do it?
Yeah. Um, Keep it rolling to me really is something that Brian Bethke made up. No, just kidding. He did though. He read what we were talking about and it was good. That's what's good about Brian. He knows all that shit. It's good. But keep it rolling really resonated with me because it was like there's a lot of challenges, a lot of things in life, whether it's on a business, on a personal, and you just got to find a way to keep it rolling. You got to keep going, and so the podcast part of it was, I want to bring people in that keep things rolling. Just they have their own struggles, they have their own things. They're interesting people, how they get to where they're going, and and I think all that stuff is and honestly, like I needed to change. I needed to change for myself personally. And this was, I've wanted to do it. I've told Brian like for years, I'm like, dude, I want to do a podcast. I want to do one, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, and I don't have all the stuff. So I'm like, I don't even know how to do it. I mean, I could sit on Facebook Live and I feel like that's not what I want to do. Um, but I've always wanted to do it. And it makes me uncomfortable. Like right now I'm sweating tax talking to you. But I feel so good after I get done with them. Like I just love it. I needed that positivity of something like an accomplishment to be like, you just finished up your second podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's freaking awesome.
And it's something you can share with other people too.
And honestly, I'm so glad I did it. I don't know how long I'm going to do it for. But I'm glad I did it. And I've had so many people reach out to me, text me or DM me or whatever, and just, something hit for them too, whether it was this or that or whatever. And I love that. Like maybe that's a passion. Is that a passion? Like I love having people feel good about themselves or whatever they're doing. Maybe that's a passion. I don't know. I don't know what fucking passion is, but I love doing that, and I loved the responses back. I love that, and so the more I do these, and the more I get a chance to, just move forward, keep it rolling this way. I just love it. I don't know why. Maybe it's the little things. It's a little. I don't know what it is, but it's all those little things. I just love it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Keep it rolling with the struggles and sharing that with other people because it's like everybody's got something.
Everybody does have something.
And it's just about getting back up and keeping it moving.
Yeah.
And sometimes it helps to know that like somebody else is going through something too, and it's okay.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many people that I've talked to. I mean, I think I have a pretty big network from all over, and
a unique network too.
I do have. That's why I'm writing a book, man, because like there's so many characters in this, but it's everybody's got a place in Sean's head, and they all tell me the stories, and I love to listen to the stories, and if I can help, I'll help. If I can. I mean, and maybe sometimes it's just an ear. And believe it or not, I do have a pretty good ear for listening.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my opinions, of course. I don't know everything, but I do know a lot. a little bit of a lot of things, and different fields and different things, and I enjoy talking to people about that. So, for me to sit and interview people and ask questions, I love that part of it. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I just love doing that, and if I can help somebody doing it along the way, because maybe I've been in that shoes, and a lot of times I have been, and and it's fun to just kind of like, hey, this is what it is, So,
yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Um,
She's got a grin when she starts asking these questions. I just love it.
I have so many good ones.
You do have some good ones.
We might have to wrap around and
Okay.
and bring some of them in, but we can keep rolling on what we kind of have, and we can always wrap some of these back into different episodes too.
Yeah.
Down the road.
Yeah, we'll drop some little tidbits.
You have so many good little nuggets of information.
Yeah,
and...
I don't know if they're good nuggets, but I have nuggets.
Yeah.
I have nuggets. I don't know if they're good, but
you do. It's good.
I got some nugs. Where's Brian? I got some nugs.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I got some nugs.
So what kind of guests and topics will you cover for these podcasts? Like what can people expect? Do you have some things coming up and topics that you're gonna kind of focus on, or?
It's gonna be kind of open. I really have a bunch of different ones kind of planned. I want some informational stuff that I find important to myself. And maybe others. And then there's some fun ones like I love the food industry. I love the beer industry. So I'll probably get maybe a beer guy in here or several, or some food guys. I love food guys. I love barbecue stuff. So like, I'd love to learn. I'd like to try to find some other barbecue guys and swap stories, and because everybody makes it different, and I think you can learn from that. So I'll take some of those little nugs and from them, and I'll take those, and sometimes I run with that. So I'm gonna find things and people that I find interesting and informative, and hopefully you guys will enjoy them too. But it's a big spectrum, and I mean, I have a list of in my head right now. Just can you see the smoke just bellowing out? So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, yeah.
But just getting some unique, interesting stories. And real stories.
Yeah, real stuff. That's what I'm saying.
We're not
like,
trying to sugarcoat it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be real.
Might hurt, might burn. I don't know, but it's uncomfortable.
And I
want to. Yeah, and that's what. Just keep it rolling,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're getting kind of wrapped up, unless there was.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you got. There's some good questions on there. We hit a bunch of them, and I love that. I appreciate you hammering me with these questions. It's pretty awesome.
We'll have to come around to them, because some of them we didn't make it to, but
that's all right.
I think that we hit some good points, and how you got started, and what people can expect, and keep tuning in, and have people send in your thoughts and your questions, and we'll have you answer those too.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I mean it's going to be a big year for me. For you guys, I'm glad I got a good crew here. You and Bethke's sitting in the background. He's got a grin on his face. He's thinking about nugs. But I love that shit. But we got some big things. I'm excited about it. We have a lot of information coming down the road, and I'm glad I'm able to share it with you guys and other people that listen. We got a few followers, and we got some good listens, and I'm pretty excited, and it's another small victory, and I just wanted one other person to listen, and we have a few of them, so I'm excited. We just keep moving, and I appreciate you coming in. I love Gabby. She's good shit, and Becky in the background. He's good shit too. I like working with the people that are good people and pretty straightforward and honest, and you guys are definitely both that. And so I appreciate both of you, and let's plan for the next one, man.
Yeah. Keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling. Thank you. Be good. Stay humble. Stay hungry. Right. That's why I started that. Stay humble. Stay hungry.
I like that.
Because it's like, man, you just stay hungry all the time, but be humble about it because you get humbled, and I've been humbled so many times. So
yeah. Stay humble, stay hungry, and keep it rolling. I think that's your.
Cheers.
That's your motto.
Yes.
And cheers.
Yeah. All right, that's a wrap. Let's go. Have a good one. See you later. Bye. 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 Bye.